Okay, Dr. John, KN4, Mike Echo from WB4GWA in Concord. Well, I was looking at the scope here, and the signal is just beautiful. I mean, it's just really, really beautiful. And Sam, you look really good on the scope as well. Good audio tonight, and Little Hoss is coming in here with like gangbusters. I detected just a little bit of QSB on the band, but nothing too bad. And like I said, I've been out in the cold all day long. I looked at my Apple Watch, and I've got about 13,000 steps today, and I had that many yesterday, working on this in-fed half-wave antenna that I built. And like I said, I had to wind up taking one of the turns off of the toroid because I couldn't get it to resonate quite where I wanted it to. So anyway, I got that taken care of, and it looks like it's going to be fine. I'll finish. And I'm going to do one more little thing to it to make it a little bit more broad-banded, but it's a great antenna, and they really work well. I've got a off-center fed dipole up as well. This is out at the barn. So I've got a full station out at the barn out there, and my Yagi and everything else, and this is my CW and sideband station, basically. I worked the CQ Worldwide DX contest this past weekend, and I didn't get real serious about it, but I sure did contact a lot of stations barefoot. I worked just about everybody I could hear barefoot. That's some pretty rare stuff. So it was a lot of fun, and so I'm trying to get that station completed out there so I can, when I'm out there working on stuff, I can take a break and get on the air and enjoy myself for a little while. And of course I got the station down here in the house as well. But that's what I've been up to, and been enjoying it, and enjoying the fresh air, and getting lots of exercise going back and forth. You know, you don't realize how many steps you take from the transmitter, go outside, walk the length of the antenna, disconnect it, let it down, make an adjustment, pull it back up, walk all the way back, and do that about 30 or 40 times, trying to get the SWR just right. And you can hit. That's what I've been doing. Over to you, Sam. KF4TXQ, WB4GWA Concord.
All right, I'll pick it up. Sam either stepped out for a cup of coffee, or maybe it didn't hit the big switch or something, but we'll hold it just briefly. Just sent you a pic. I've got there's supposed to be a 75A2 in that lineup. Long story, but I have a 75A1 or A2. There's a 73A3 online. And then I've got the Goldust twins that I've never used. I need to get that set up. So we'll have a fairly complete vintage calling station. That'll be fun. Sam, are you back? KL4TXQ with WB4GWA, KN4 Mike Echo. And Dr. Ron, you made me huff and puff just thinking about your activity. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, I think I'm back now. And but anyhow, everything's working a little better, like it should. And I changed my interface. I'm using this other interface, and I think I'm going to put it back like I had it like yesterday. It seemed to be working better yesterday. Does this sound all right now? Over?
Yes, sir. Sounds great.
Mighty fine. All right. Well, I'm going to just back off a little bit on the drive. Let's see. I got my RF power set a little too high, and I think I got my mic gain a little too high. So I'm going to back off on the mic gain, put it about 30%. Then I'm going to get back off on the RF power because it makes the modulation a lot better, I think, when I do it that way. Yeah, it's looking more better. Let me see if I can set it at resonance here. All right, that's a dip. So anyway, I think I'm good to go again. Yeah, I'm gonna put this other. I don't know what's the matter with this other old interface, but they're all identical circuits. But the problem is that they didn't end up being the same in terms of construction and performance. So and they're all modified 275 watt matchboxes, and it's now a single-ended link couple tuner. And I found if I use the whole length of the coils in there, then you know, to adjust it on 75 meters, you got to set it on 40 meters on the tuner, and then that tunes right on the you know, on the band and so forth. So anyhow, we're just going to rock along here and do the best we can and see what happens. Back to you there, Dr. Ron. WB4GWA with KN4 Mike Echo. This is KF4TXQ.
W4AX.
Okay, there's Mac, W4AX, in the group from WB4GWA Concord. Well, Sam, I think you got it adjusted just right, so stick some bubble gum on it and don't let it move because it's looking good on the scope. Go ahead, Mac, and turn it up to Dr. John when you're done. W4AX, WB4GWA in Concord.
All right, I'll turn it over to Art if that's okay. And Art, you can pass it over to Dr. John. Good evening, Art and Dr. Ron, Dr. John, and Sam. Let me write down Art's call sign or I'll forget. And it's good speaking to you this morning, Art, and it's great speaking to you tonight. Well, I'm running a legal limit. I'm actually on a flex tonight. I didn't feel like walking out to the garage. I made 100 trips out there, like you say, Dr. Ron. And running a legal limit, 375 watts. So hopefully you guys, 375 watts carrier. So hopefully you guys are hearing me okay. Well, that cold front that's coming through is going to be through here tonight and will be 29 degrees. You're probably a little cooler up there where you guys are. You're a little further north than I am. And hope to see everyone at Lawrenceville this weekend. Dr. John, when it comes to you, you might comment if you think you're going to be able to make it or perhaps you don't know yet. N4JK, W4AX.
W4AX group from M4. So you're just telling me about the flex tonight. Sam, you're too loud. I walked into the shack as you were tweeting. You just got louder and louder. So it's good enough. Hello to Dr. John, Dr. Ron. Hope you all doing good. Beautiful day down here. Did a little bit of running around. And this time in the shed. Actually, I know after coming right about an hour, so I'm not sure if I'll be around officially. We'll see. You know, just want to get in here and say hi. Tuesday evening, Halloween. So, yeah, where am I supposed to turn this? I know. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. Now I can't read my notes. Oh, well, forgive me. I'm going to send it over to you, Dr. Ron. I hope that's good. WB4GWA from M4JK.
K4VZS.
Hey, John, K4VZS. Tell you what, John, I'll pitch it over to you. And when you get through, pitch it up to Dr. John, KN4ME. Art, you sound good tonight, and I hope everything is well with you and Kate, and it's been a pretty day here as well. and if you were listening a while ago, I've been outside most all the day working on an antenna, so lots of fun today, that's for sure. Go ahead, John, K4VZS from WB4GWA.
Yeah, WB4GWA, K4VZS. Well, you're pounding in now. Wow. It sounds good. Art, I heard you. I think I heard that Sam and Dr. John. I just walked in the door since been out managed my glasses today, so I've been all afternoon trying to find you out. It's rough to get old. Anyway, I did find them, and I'm back to normal, whatever that is, and didn't get a chance to play radio today, but tomorrow's another day, and maybe we can get something done. And for me, K4VZS, you sound good down here too, John.
Yeah, very good, John. K4VZS, N4JK in the group, KN4 Mike Echo. I'll keep it short. Art, we don't have the path yet. I could hear you in there, probably copied 50%, strong enough to recognize your voice with always good audio, but just at the noise level there with QSB phase, I couldn't quite get it, but it'll pick up and it will be fine. Mac is supposed to get to 24 here, and we're going to have to drive to town. We're about 14 miles from a house that we're working on there to either rent or sell, and we got to cut some water on and a little heat in there. Dr. Ron and I were talking, we don't like paying plumber bills, so we got a little bit of stuff to do here. We've got 2 dwellings on this 2 acres, and the dwelling we're not in is going to have the same treatment there with some heat and some water running out, I believe. It is not looking promising for Lawrenceville. I'm disappointed, but I don't know what I can do. It's not 100%, but it looks like we will be traveling. And if not, I really want to bring the Mohawk and Apache pair over and somehow get it to Tom. I really don't have a 250 watt mod transformer that I can put my finger on. There are some that might fill the bill, but I realize you've got a space problem. Again, it would not only be good to have you pay a visit from the camaraderie standpoint, but to look through this stuff, because I have not and will not have a chance to go through it, even if I'm able to come to Lawrenceville this weekend. Some of that heavy iron is laid out on the floor, all stacked up on each other. You can't even get to it. We're talking about a maybe 8 to 10 foot radius of equipment that's in a Quonset hut. So enough of that. But again, there's a lot of stuff here, and I think we could help you. I just don't know how to put my finger on something like that. And I don't recall specifically. There was a Gates broadcast transformer that I had some of the components from, and I believe there is a mod transformer for that. I know there's a mod reactor, but where it is in that pile, I don't know. I believe I'm passing it to Sam, KF4TXQ, and then as I have it, it's Dr. Ron, Mac, Art, and John. Go ahead, Sam, KF4TXQ, KN4ME.
Do I send it back to Dr. Ron, or do I send it to John? Over?
I think to Dr. Ron.
Okay, well, I'll do that. Okay, this is KF4TXQ in a bewildered state here. I've been swapping things around. I finally got everything back to where it needs to be, I believe. And but anyway, I've been in here messing around with these little modified tuner projects. And it's funny, you know, I do each one of them the same, but they don't always turn out the same. So it must be a reflection on my poor construction practices, but anyway, we'll do it. But now this one's doing great. This was the first one I did, and it's doing fine. And these other ones I use to, I switch over and use them for the 7300 barefoot when I get on 40 meters, and they work out real well. But you know how that goes. The best laid plans of mice and men and all that good stuff. But anyway, I'm showing definite forward modulation, and that's where I wanted it to be. I'm swinging up pretty high, and anyhow, it's doing good. And hello to you there, Mac. Good to hear you in. I look forward to when you get in there again in a minute. So over to you there, Dr. Ron. WB4GWA in the back, and for TXQ, Dadeville, Alabama.
Well, I tell you what, Sam, if it got any better, I couldn't stand it, because it looks pretty on the scope, and you sound really good. K4TXQ from WB4GWA. And John, you sounded good too. And Art was coming up. The band is getting a little bit better, and he'll be booming in here before too long for sure. But yeah, I know what you mean, Sam, about construction practices. I can do something that I've done 1,000 times and do it wrong, and then suddenly realize what's going on. It's really kind of funny. I tell you something that I discovered while working on this infrared antenna. I kept using my network analyzer to look at the SWR and look at the resistance and so forth and so on. And I know this, but I was reminded of it once again. In order to check that thing, it's about, the infrared antenna is probably about 24 to 2700 ohms on the output of it, where you hook up the long wire. So I hooked a resistor from there to ground to be able to sweep the balun, take a look at the balun and everything, and I put a doggone carbon film resistor in there, and the SWR was sky high, and I couldn't get it fixed at all. And then it suddenly dawned on me, there's those resistors are inductive, and so I got an old carbon job and put on there, and everything was perfect. So word to the wise, if you're working with RF and audio especially, be careful of using those mylar wound carbon film type resistors, because they are inductive, and they can kind of throw you a curve if you're not careful. But I saw that again today while working on that antenna. Sure did make a difference. It took SWR from 3.5 to 1 all the way down flat. So just by putting the carbon in there instead of the mylar. Oh me. Back to you, Mac. W4AX, WB4GWA.
All right, thanks, Dr. Ron. Yeah, that's a good lesson for all of us. And let's see, I think I've said good evening to everyone. Good evening to John, but perhaps I haven't said good evening to you. And it's good to hear you, John. You got a good signal. I'm glad you found your glasses. Well, around here, the only little ham radio project I've done lately is I built a solid-state spark gap to go across the secondary modulation transformers. Not my design, but out of electric radio many years ago. Uses a diode and some Zeners and a resistor to keep the modulation transformer, particularly on negative peaks, from going too negative and causing the mod transformer to fail. So it was an interesting little circuit, and I've installed it on one of my transmitters. And let's see, Dr. John, on plumber bills, I certainly know about those. I worked out a good deal. I have a friend that's a master plumber, almost retired, and I take care of all his air conditioning problems. including I installed a complete system for him. And he takes care of all my plumbing, and we just trade back and forth, and we just pay for parts at wholesale price as needed, so it's a pretty good deal. And I understand about Lawrenceville, so no problem. And I'll come over and visit you. You know, perhaps, well, we'll have to talk about when you're back and not working, etc. But I'd love to come for a visit, and Butch has invited me to stay with him, which I've done many times before. All right, it's time for the Kevin Show, I think. Kevin, are you there? And if not, Art, you can pick it up. Was it WA4KM or WB4KM? I'm sorry, I should know it. I've used it so many times. Over to you.
Oh, N4OZI is here.
Well, you know what? You're right. It's your turn, Alan. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, I'll be Kevin. That'll be a step up there. Yeah, it's N4OZI. Alan over here in Woodstock, and it's at the bottom of the hour, so it's time to start the SAMRC. Let me get this right. SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Pre-Net, the informal portion of the net. And let me go through the list I have so far. Appreciate it, Mac. Let's see. First on my list is Dr. John, KN4ME. Number 2 is Dr. Ron, WB4GWA. And then Sam, KF4TXQ. And then Mac, W4AX. And then Art, N4JK. And then John, K4VZS. So we've got 6 of us in there so far. Let's see if anybody else wants to check in. Anybody wants to check into the pre-net, come now.
K4 or BKC?
All right. I've got Orley, W4IDD. And I got Bob, K4BKC. Anybody else?
KA4 AMN.
Alpha Delta 4 All right, I got a couple of AMers and somebody trying to check into an AM net on sideband. That won't work. Better inject that carrier. Try it again. There was a couple there. I couldn't quite pull through.
Kilo 5, Hotel Foxtrot Golf.
KA4 AMI. Alpha Delta 4 Quebec. November 4, 544. All right, got quite a bit there. Got Eddie, KA4 AMI, and let's see, I got Don, K5IFG, and I got AD4Q, which is Dave, get that right. I got Tom, W9TAB, and I've also got Bill, N4GUV. So we got quite a list growing here, so let's get started. Let's go up to the top of the list to Dr. John. Dr. John, how about some comments for the pre-net? KN4ME, N4OZI.
Yeah, thank you, Alan, and I'll keep it very brief. We've been chewing the fat here for a good 20 or 30 minutes with a great pre-net, and we're just getting ready for the freeze tonight, 24 degrees. And I've got the heat going here in the shack. We're quite comfortable so far. And I was going to comment, Mac, you and the plumber have a great deal there. I do the same thing with the mechanic, auto mechanic, and we save each other some bucks. And at any rate, Alan, looking forward to the net. You're doing a great job and have a great signal into northwest Alabama. N4OZI and the crew, KN4 Mike Echo.
All right, Dr. John, KN4 Mike Echo. This is the
the SAMRC Pre-Net and this N4OZI. I appreciate it. Let's go to Dr. Ron, WB4GWA. How about some comments for the Pre-Net? This is N4OZI.
Okay, Alan, N4OZI from WB4GWA. Well, I'll concur with John. You're doing really well in here. Good signal tonight, and always good audio. And I too am looking forward to Lawrenceville. I have not been in about 5 or 6 years, so I'm looking forward to going. And John, just for your information, since we couldn't find the covers to the Dentron, one of the reasons I'm going to Lawrenceville is to be able to look under tables and all that kind of thing to see if I can find a junker that might have the covers on it. So I'll have to build a cabinet for it. But anyway, I'm going to look around and hopefully get lucky and find some covers for that thing. That's all I lack, and I'll be able to put it to use. But if I strike out, I'm going to have to get some metal and start bending metal and making a cabinet. Well, she's finished and tested out and everything, and all I got to do is just put some covers on it so I don't shock myself. But anyway, looking forward to seeing everybody there, and hopefully I'll feel good enough on Saturday morning to get up and go, and my arthritis won't prohibit me from going. But anyway, looking forward to the next night, and looking forward to hearing all these good signals. N4OZI from WB4GWA in Concord.
Okay, Dr. Ron, WB4GWA. Very good, this N4OZI, and very good on finding the Dentron covers. And, yep, you might find them there. Just might. Like I said, they'll be under the table. You never know what you'd find under there. That's for sure. I've found some interesting stuff over the years, and that's usually where you can find them. Let's take a standby, see if we got any other check-ins. Any other check-ins for the SAMRC Pre-Net come now. Oh, nothing like being caught up, so over to you, Sam. KF4TXQ. How about some comments for the Pre-Net? This is N4OZI.
Okay, mighty fine. Alan, good Pre-Net going here, and it's good to hear everybody. I think the band's settling down. I hope so anyway, and I think my shack is settling down. I've been having everything kind of discombobulated, trying to straighten out some technical problems that are self-induced, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I'm still playing with these 275 matchboxes, and I'm finding that the construction practices in my hands are not always up to par. But I've also found that some of the builds that came, I guess, I don't know whether these things were kit built or whether they were factory built. But anyway, I found some strange things in there, so you never know. So we're just rocking along and doing the best we can. I'm still going to try to find me a couple more of these 275-watt matchboxes because they're wondrous little boxes. And of course, I've got Lou's kilowatt matchbox here, and it's doing fine. It's sitting up on the top of the rack up here. So I think I'm probably going to try using clip cords and stuff, not really modify the tuner itself, but just to use the total length of the coil and make it single-ended. Because the way I'm running Little Hoss here, my feed line goes straight to the link on this tank circuit I built. And so you got the B plus going through the resonant part of the tank circuit, and of course you got that extra link coil in there, and that goes right straight to the feed line, and there's no tuner in there. The only thing you tune is the variable on the tank circuit, variable capacitor. So anyway, that's what we're doing. And anyhow, well, that's about what I've been doing around here. And man, I'm kind of looking forward to some cool weather. And I sure hope I can hitch me a ride to Lawrenceville. I don't believe it's going to happen. You know how it goes. You just do the best you can with what you got. So back to you there, Alan, N4OZI and the prenet. This is KF4TXQ.
Okay, Sam. KF4TXQ and the prenet. This N4OZI were very good. Sounds like you're making progress on your 275-watt matchboxes. And yeah, if I can make it to Lawrenceville, that'd be great. We'd love to see you. And but I know how it is. Sometimes you can make it to it, and sometimes you can't. It's kind of the way I am with some stuff. It's just sometimes it's in the cards, and sometimes it's not. But we'll make it to Lawrenceville and get some photos. I like to take photos of Hamfest, put it on the QRZ page. A lot of folks like that. I was inspired by Nick England's photos of Hamfest. I enjoyed those so much over the years, I decided to continue that and cover the Hamfest in this area with that. That's always been a lot of fun. Let's go to my neighbor to the north, W4AX. Mac, how about some comments for the prenet? This is N4OZI.
All right, Alan, thanks so much. N4OZI, W4AX. Sorry for the confusion a minute ago. I do have a need for Greg down in Pensacola. He sent me an email to be on the lookout for a national radio NC303 receiver. So if anybody here has one for sale, I'll put you in touch with Greg if you don't know him. And if you happen to see one at the Hamfest, if you'll call me, or if you know where I'm set up in the boneyard, come tell me. I'll go try to buy it for him. And let's see. Look forward to seeing everybody at Lawrenceville. Bob, you might mention. I guess you're planning to anyway. We're doing a picture of this trip. And Bob KN4HH is coming over here tomorrow morning at 8:30, and I'm going to work on his SPE amplifier, which has been giving him trouble. Back to you, Alan. N4OZI, W4AX.
Okay, W4AX. In the prenet, it's N4OZI, and we'll keep a lookout for an NC303. They are around. There was one, I think I got a picture of one at Huntsville, if I recall. Don't recall seeing one at Lawrenceville last year. Or maybe I can't remember. I did remember seeing I think it was a 300 there. I almost bought it too, but, and it was operating and working there. So we'll keep that in mind. Yeah, we'll have the picture at, I'll end up taking the picture this year. It'll be at between the main building and the flea market. At that entrance to the main building, we'll meet there. And I figured either inside or outside somewhere, we'll get a photo at 11 o'clock at the main building where, you know, you know where the main building entrance is there, where they have the vendors in there, and at that door that goes out to the flea market will be right around there at 11 a.m. And I've been tasked to get the photo, so I'll get the photo. And I'll get everybody rounded up, and we'll do what we can. Let's see. Let's go down and see if Art is there. Now, Art may be eating dinner, and that's a priority, so he may not be there. But we'll see. We'll take a listen. N4JK, you got any comments for the prenet? This is N4OZI.
Hey there, Alan. Yeah, I do. This is N4JK. And I am going to wander off. The alarm bell just went off. So, anyway, I did want to say thanks for the tip on the carbon film resistor. And I hope everybody has a good time in Lawrenceville. I got John, on flashes, glad you found them. I have ordered my flashes over the internet. I have a prescription, and it worked out great. Saved lots of money. If that is of interest to you, I can tell you what I did later. And I'm running a different setup for right now, just to see what would happen. Not my Flexus, it's an IC7300, an amp. with the DLC mod. I've been wanting to do that for a while. Doesn't run as much power, but the indications are okay. So anyway, I'm glad you could copy. Thanks for picking me up tonight. I'm going to get some supper. I may be back later toward the end of the night. N4OZI from N4JK.
WA4KM.
All right, we got you in there, Kevin. WA4KM. All right, Art. N4JK in the pre-net. It's N4OZI. Well, good to hear you on there, and glad we got you in there just before supper. Fine on the 7300. All right, well, we got Kevin in there. Let's take a standby, see if we have any other check-ins. Any other check-ins for the SAMRC pre-net? Come now.
KA3IWS.
All right, I got a KA3IWS, which is Bob. Got you in there, Bob. Any other check-ins? All right, let's go down to John. K4VZS. How about some comments for the pre-net, John? This is N4OZI. K4VZS, you there, John?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. You caught me a little off guard there, Al. Trying to catch up with my afternoon activities here. But fans seem to be holding up. I'm still copying you fine. And most everybody else. We got some couple projects we've been working on out there. Old Henry 2K or 1K amplifier. And what am I trying to say here? A Metron 811. So, staying busy. My hands are starting to fail me and other things behind me, so I picked up a camera again, and maybe I can go out for a few days, shooting pictures for a change, see how that works out. But I guess radio will always be in me. N4OZI, K4.
All right, John. K4VZS. This is N4OZI in the pre-net. Well, you're at times 20 over. You come in really good tonight, so I do like the winter. And to get you guys on the Gulf Coast coming in is really nice. Let's go down to Roy, W4IDD. Roy, how about some comments for the pre-net? This is N4OZI.
Thank you, Alan. This is W4IDD, Roy in Pensacola. One problem is singing with my MC300. It's not muting my transmit signal like it ought to, so I guess I'll have to put one into doing some maintenance on it. Oh, John, there you go. Well, anyway, I'm running a little LMAC this evening. I call a mighty LMAC AF67 and a little PMR8 receiver. So there you go, D104. And Alan sounding good this evening with the PMR. I'll be staying back in the net. Everybody have a good evening. I'm 73 all around.
All right, very good, Roy. W4IDD. This is N4OZI in the pre-net, and the LMAC sounding good, coming in real well up here. Let's take a standby real quick before we go to Bob and see if we have any other check-ins. Any other check-ins for the SAMRC pre-net? Come now.
W4GUZ.
All right, a W4GUZ, Brandon, and there was somebody else in there.
W4MA.
All right, Bill. We got you in here, Bill. We've got Brandon and Bill. Any others? All I think we're caught up, so let's go to Bob, K4BKC. How about some comments for the pre-net? This is N4OZI.
N4OZI and the pre-net. This is K4BKC. Good evening, Alan. Good evening to everyone on the pre-net. I do appreciate you coordinating the picture for me. I'm just not going to be where I can be in Lawrenceville this weekend, and I certainly appreciate you taking care of that for me. Boy, what a great bunch of signals. It's the band is in good shape tonight. I hope it stays that way for the duration of the net. Well, I won't hold it. Sure appreciate you doing the pre-net, Alan. It's sounding great. N4OZI, K4BKC.
All right, very good, Bob. Well, we're glad to take care of the picture. Like I said, the picture will be at 11 a.m. at the entrance of the main building, the entrance between the main building and the flea market, right there at 11, and we'll get it taken care of. Let's go to Eddie, KA4AMI. How about some comments for the pre-net? This is N4OZI.
Okay, N4OZI, this is KA4AMI. Well, good evening to everyone. Lots of big signals, and I have to comment on one especially. John, K4BZS down there, you're right here with the big guns tonight, John, pegging the meter. It's good to hear everybody, and we're glad to be here, as Roy says, and going to enjoy the net tonight. And that's about it. Probably see, more than likely be at Lawrenceville. Looks good right now, but there's a couple of things kind of standing in the way, but we'll just see how that plays out. Anyway, hello to everyone, and back to you there, Alan, and thanks for all the things you do, buddy.
All right, very good. KA4AMI, N4OZI. Well, we're glad to take care of the picture at Lawrenceville. Let's take another standby real quick, see if we have any check-ins before we go to Don. Any other check-ins for the pre-net? Come now. All right, we're caught up, so we'll go to Don, K5HFG. How about some comments for the pre-net? This is N4OZI.
Okay. N4OZI, this is K5HFG. Good evening, Alan. You got a good signal for that. Looks like the band is going to be half over, and that's going to be a good evening. Thanks for picking me up. Thanks for doing the pre-net, and hey to everybody else on the pre-list. I'll turn it back to you, and I'm going to get this bad boat along. N4OZI, K5HFG.
All right, very good, Don. 10 over over here in Woodstock. K5HFG, N4OZI. You're doing really well, so it's going to work out good tonight. Let's go on down the list to Dave, AD4Q. How about some comments for the pre-net? This is N4OZI.
N4OZI, this is AD4Q. David Millington. Good to meet everybody tonight. A little bit of QSP. You're up and down, but I can give you 100% copy. And of course, Bob, you're on your way like normal. And HFG also. But I'm trying to be here for the net. I might not make it, so if I don't come back, you'll know why. Andrew's running with my wife. I think we're going somewhere in a little bit. So anyway, enjoying the net. Back to you, Alan. Good job. N4OZI, AD4Q.
All right, very good, Dave. Well, we'll call on you during the net, and if you're not there, we understand. But great signal coming into Woodstock. All right, let's go on down to Tom, W9TAB. This is N4OZI.
N4OZI, W9TAB. Good evening there, Alan. I appreciate you running the pre-net. Got some good signals down here in Pensacola. Everybody's sounding good. I hope everyone's 2V2 anyway, everybody's sounding good. Just little trick-or-treaters running around here all over the place. So, you know, the XYL, she's handling that at the front door. But anyway, other than that, everybody's sounding good in the net. Thanks again, Alan. And I'm not going to be able to make Lawrenceville, but can't wait to hear what was all there. N4OZI, W9TAB.
All right, Tom, W9TAB and Freenet, it's N4OZI. Well, we'll get some pictures and put them on our QRZ page and see what's there. And always fun to do that. Let's take another standby real quick, see if we have any other check-ins. Any other check-ins for the SAMRC Freenet? Come now. All right, not hearing any. Let's go to Bill, N4GUV. How about some comments for the Freenet? This is N4OZI.
N4OZI. Thank you. This is N4GUV. I'm looking down now. I spent out the comments this evening. It's been a while since I've been able to join in the Tuesday night activities. It was a wonderful day up here on Bald Rock Mountain. The leaves are still falling, so there's not much use in trying to corral them. Could use some rain. If I've got any spare, send it to Oldenville. I'm looking forward to this evening. Thank you for carrying on for us in N4OZI, N4GUV.
Hello to the mayor, to the governor of Bald Rock Mountain.
Hey, Sam.
Okay, Bill. N4GUV coming in good into Woodstock. It's N4OZI. And yeah, we could use some rain too. I think that's why the leaves are falling so much. Goodness, that's I think the trees have just given up, said the heck with it. Because I've noticed they are really coming down now. All right, let's go to Kevin, WA4KM with the City of Gold. How about some comments for the Freenet, Kevin? It's N4OZI.
All right, Alan, good evening to you and everyone else on the net this evening, or the Freenet, I should say. This is WA4KM. Kevin in Villarica, Georgia, West by God, Georgia, as they say, the City of Gold. Hope everybody's doing good this evening. It's a little chilly. Y'all better bundle up. The next couple of days is going to be really, really cold. And Bald Rock Mountain, good evening, Bill, over there. We were over kind of in your neck of the woods riding motorcycles again yesterday, and the leaves are just beautiful. Some of them's already fallen off. Some of them still kind of peeking. There's still actually some is green, so it's kind of a variety. But hoping to see everybody at Lawrenceville. I want to get in that picture too, so Alan, I'll try to track you down somewhere around 11 in front of the building you're talking about. I think that's the one the main one. Usually HRO's there as soon as you go in the door. They're right there normally, but you know, things change. I don't know. I'll say that, and they probably won't be there. But looking forward to seeing everyone there at the Ham Fest. Copying everybody just fine. I did notice band did take a little dip up and down. I don't know what happened. It might have been on my end as well. But hello to you, Don, out there on Tick Ridge. And I heard John VZS. You're right. He was balling in here. And Roy, you was too. I diddle. And Miss Daisy May. Anyway, and Tom, I was hearing you as well. So I got some things if we go to sell. If anybody wants some motor rigs, I've got some stuff if anyone's interested I could bring. I've had for several years. I've got a Kenwood 940, and it's actually got the 3.0 wide filter in it, and I've got a new power supply in it, and like I said, the new S2 filter in it, and I've got a 930, 870, several little radios. Somebody wants something that does AM and sideband. I'm just narrowing the herd down a little bit. And again, along with the, I'm not going to bring that big M-Tron amp, but it's a tabletop amp if anybody's looking for a nice amp. It runs a pair of 728 Franks AFUs. So anyway, Alan, thanks for calling the net. You got a whopping signal in West Georgia too. I'm telling you, and beautiful audio, by the way. Let's see, what else? Sam, my partner in crime, you got
you're about as good audio sounding and signal as I've ever heard. You're doing a great job too, and I heard Eddie Brown and Dr. Ron and several Bob. Also, Bob was falling in here. Okay, well, I think I've made my rounds there. Again, y'all bundle up this evening, and I hope to see y'all at Lawrenceville / Stone Mountain. God bless. Back to you up there on beautiful Lake Cheerful. I'm on the peanut whistle tonight. This is my wintertime radio. N4OZI. This is WA4KM.
You're still 20 over here.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. You're loud.
Yeah, you're booming in, Kevin. WA4KM in the prenet. N4OZI. All right, let's take another standby real quick, see if we have any other check-ins. Any other check-ins for the prenet? Time now.
Here's Kilowatt 9 United Radio, K9UR.
All right, K9UR. K9UR, that's a new one on me. Do you have a name there?
Yeah, good evening. My name is Joe. Juliet Ocean Echo Joe, located in Bloomington, Indiana, up north here. K9 United Radio. Good evening.
All right, K9UR, Joe in Bloomington. Well, say hello to my daughter. She's getting her PhD here. All right, we're at the top of the hour, and I'll turn it over to Stan. W4KR, go ahead and take it away. This is N4OZI.
Okay, Alan, thank you, and good evening, everybody. This is W4KR in Wagoner Township, South Carolina, the northwest corner of South Carolina. Great band conditions tonight. Glad to hear it. Been sitting here listening since Alan was kind enough to start the prenet, and looks like we're going to have a good session this evening. Bob will have an announcement. Bob will have a couple of announcements here in just a few minutes. One relating to the time change, which coincides with daylight saving time going off. He'll be talking about that, and we've also already covered the Saturday picture at the Lawrenceville Ham Fest. Look forward to that. And with that, we're going to get going. I'm going to say here tonight, I've got a shack full here tonight. The weekly producer of these events, my wife Joan, is here, along with our son John, KF6 KQ6. Gosh darn it, KQ6XX, and he's also known. He's the young man that lives over in England, also known as M0BXG. He and his partner Chris are with us this week. Anyway, we've got, like I say, I've got an in-house audience here. With that, this is the Southeast AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net that meets every Tuesday night at this hour, except the clock next week will be an hour earlier. And I would ask that you all take a look at the website, w4ami.org. Dr. Ron, WB4GWA, does a great job with that, and he keeps adding stuff to it, a lot of interesting stuff on that. And that also provides general information about the organization. We're right close to the 300-member mark now, and we've grown quite a bit this past year. Happy to see it. With that, we'll start the festivities. From now on, I'm not going to be W4KR tonight. I'm going to be W4AMI, which is the call sign that belongs to the club. We operate a directed net, and communications will come through the net control as usual. I would ask that. I should say, first of all, we'll take a standby every 15 minutes or so for any late arrivers, and rather than break in, if you are listening and check in late, ask that you wait until I call for more stations. I think makes it most fair for everybody here. Purpose of our net is to buy, sell, or share trade vintage AM equipment and components. Also to provide a forum for fellowship that we do, which occupies about 95% of the net. Before we begin with our first transmission this evening, I'm going to stand by to see if we have anyone who has anything to buy, to sell, trade, who would like to. Or someone that could use some technical assistance on any particular project. I'll take a standby for that in just a second. Kevin, WA4KM, also gave his list, so Kevin, we've already got you here. Anybody else? W4AMI listening? Okay, the frequency is clear, so let's begin. Let's begin and head down the road here. First station up, as usual, is our club president, Bob, K4BKC, over yonder in Tennessee. Go ahead, Bob. Come on in. K4BKC, W4AMI listening.
Well, W4AMI. This is K4BKC. Good evening, Stan, and good evening to everyone on the net. Thank you so much for doing the net. And as Alan was mentioning earlier, I'm not going to be able to be at Lawrenceville this weekend, and he's going to coordinate the AM group picture. And I really appreciate that. And I'm sorry that I'm not going to be there, but things just didn't work out this year. As far as time change for the net, the time change is going to fall back 1 hour. And I think for the next couple of weeks at least, we're going to try meeting at the same time, 5:30 Central for the pre-net, 6:30 Central, for 6:30 Eastern for the pre-net, and 7 for the Eastern for the net, and 6 Eastern, 6 Central for the net. Now I'm getting myself confused. Anyway, same time as usual for the net for the next week or two, and we'll test the waters for propagation. If propagation is too bad, we'll move the net an hour later to keep up with propagation. Would like to ask that you continue to keep in your thoughts and prayers our good friend Ben, W4CT, and his wife Susan, W4YL. And I hope everyone has a wonderful time at Lawrenceville this weekend. It's always a great ham fest. And I hope you all have a great time there. Thanks for a good keynote, Alan. I always enjoy it. And thank you, Stan, for doing the net. Back to you, W4AMI. This is K4BKC.
Okay, thank you, Bob. This is W4AMI. Next up is our trustee and webmaster, WB4GWA. Ron, go ahead.
Okay, Stan, W4AMI from WB4GWA in Concord. Well, good evening to you and to everybody else who's checked in. And good evening, John, across from the ocean, visiting with Stan there. And Stan, you may need to put him on the microphone, let him check in at least. But I concur. The board kind of got our head together and talked about this time business, and I think it will be good for us to test the propagation before we change it officially, because if we don't, we may be shutting out some folks from getting in, and so we want to make sure that we do that right. So that's the reason we're going to test the water for a couple of weeks and see how it goes. Looking forward to Lawrenceville, and if my arthritis will let me, I'm going to get up and go. But anyway, signal's good tonight. Everybody sounds really good, and appreciate everybody checking in tonight. Stan, appreciate you calling it. W84, no, W4AMI, there we go. WB4GWA Concord.
Yeah, it's the same same tongue I had tied there a bit ago, Ron. Oh, thank you, and good evening. Next station up is KF4TXQ, our Vice President. Sam, go ahead. W4AMI listening.
Thank you very much. W4AMI, this is KF4TXQ in Dadeville, Alabama. Boy, signals are good tonight. I'm telling you what, you coming in great, Stan. And Dr. Ron, Millie's never sounded better. Millie's just doing the job. And everybody's sounding good. Bob, you were sounding good on the 20V2. So you know how it is. We just have to rock along with what we got and smile and hope for the better. But you know how it is. We'll never whip propagation. Propagation's got its own thing going, and no way in the world we're going to whip that. So anyway, and I think that's a great thing to try to get all the start times coordinated and so forth. I mean, we're not spring chickens anymore, so the more consistency we have in start and finish times for the nets and pre-nets, I think the more organized we're going to be, we'll be a little better off, at least in my humble opinion, because I ain't getting no wiser, so I'm going to just try to get more organized. But anyhow, I tell you what, this is just a wonderful evening for AM, and I just enjoy it. And I sure hope Brother Ben, W4CT, pulls out everything all right. I hope those treatments are going well. And he's a fine fella. And he always loves to play with that old military gear. And I always get a kick out of that, because that's how I got my start. I started playing with especially the World War II surplus stuff. And my cousin and her husband had a distributing company up in Decatur, Alabama, and he would buy all kinds of DRMO, lots of stuff, and he got truckloads of ARC-5s and BC 348s and all that kind of stuff, and it was just wonderful. And so that's how I got into radio. But anyway, Stan, you're doing fine. I hope Miss Jones is doing well. I know she's a lot of help to you in there. And if you slip, she'll let you know. It's fun to have an XYL involved in your doings, because they're going to keep an eye on you, no doubt. All right, W4AMI in the group. This is KF4TXQ. Back to you, Stan.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Yep, she's listening, and she waved at you, Sam. Smiled and waved at you. Okay, Sam, as far as the time thing goes, I agree with you. It would be nice if everybody got on the same page, but we didn't seem to be on the same page this week. Different people got different direction, I guess. Anyway, we'll move on. Next up is Eddie Brown, K4AMI from W4AMI. Go ahead, Eddie. How you doing?
Well, W4AMI, you copy me? I've lost my amp again some reason.
No, you're doing fine.
Okay. W4AMI, this is KA4AMI. Well, good evening, everybody. And Stan and Alan, thank you for all your help with this, the Hamfest deal, with the pictures and everything. We all appreciate it. And hello to Joan, John, and Chris, and your shack. Hope everything's going well with that, too. Having a good time over here. nothing much from here. We're on the Ranger. It's working just fine. I think my keying circuit, I didn't plug it in. I think that's probably what the deal is, but you got us on like 20 watts or something like that. I hope everybody can hear me. But the band conditions are real good, and most everybody is really strong here in Williamson. Like I said, we're on the Ranger tonight, listening on the SX73. It doesn't say SX73 anywhere. It says anywhere. It says R274, but we know what it is. Anyway, good to hear everybody. 7-3s for now. Hope to see you in Lawrenceville. And that's about it from Williamson. Thank you, Stan. W4AMI. This is KA4AMI.
Yeah, okay. Eddie, are you running the line? Exactly, 30 over 9. So, well done. The 9th is all gone. Wow, how about that? Okay, next on the list is, we're going up to, let's hear from our pre-net guy. Alan, transmission time, N40ZI from W4AMI. Go ahead.
Okay, Stan, W4AMI in the net, it's N40ZI. I don't really have much more to really add. Just pretty much said all I need to say, but looking forward to seeing everybody at Lawrenceville. It'll be a lot of fun. Looks like the weather is going to be good. What was the forecast? Yeah. Looks like it's going to be 40 degrees at 8 a.m., up to 60 degrees by noon, and sunny. So there's the land's going to should be pretty nice. But I would look just in case. And should be, I'm expecting a pretty good turnout. And remember, this year the main parking lot is closed. You got to go in through the back entrance there. But it still should be a very good ham fest. So it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. That's pretty much it. We'll get the picture coordinated at 11, and it'll be at the main entrance to where the commercial vendors are. You know, HRO, MFJ, all those guys. That building. That entrance that goes in from the flea market into that building right there at 11 a.m. We'll get together and we'll get a picture. So that's it, and I'll turn it back to you, Stan. W4AMI, it's N40ZI.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Appreciate your job tonight. Well done. This is the Southeastern AM Radio Club. Tuesday Swap and Fellowship Net. Going to take a standby to see if we have any latecomers. Call right now, please. Go ahead.
Correction.
W4OLJ.
Okay, got you, Virgil. W4OLJ. Anyone else?
WB4KKJ.
Okay, WB4KKJ. Welcome. Good evening, sir. Anyone else? Okay, didn't hear anybody else, but we'll move right along. Next up's Dr. John. Let's see if he's good. If not, we'll catch him later on. KN4ME, W4AMI listening.
Stan, he sent me an email and he said he had to run from WB4GWA.
Okay, thanks, Ron. Appreciate that. Okay, moving on down the list, Mac, W4AX, your transmission. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, Stan, and thanks for running the net, W4AMI, W4AX, and let's see, running legal carrier tonight, but I'm cheating and using a flex radio. I got all these AM rigs, but I already had it turned on, so I just said, let me switch over here and use it on the net tonight. 29 degrees here. I know some of you are going to have colder, but this is our first freezing weather since last winter, and I look forward to seeing everyone in Lawrenceville. That same boneyard row coming out of the main building that Alan's talking about. I'll be set up there if I'm able to get my normal spot. Thanks again for running the net, Stan. W4AMI, W4AX.
Okay, Mac. Good to hear you tonight. Thanks for coming aboard. Next station up is N4JK. Art said he might not be back, but let's find out. N4JK, go ahead. W4AMI. Yep, didn't think so. Okay, still down Florida way. John, John's your transmission. K4VZS. Go ahead.
K4VZS. Well, I'm like Mac. I took the fast way out tonight, and I'm on the 6500 and the PGI Star. Everybody's coming in pretty good tonight. Everything's holding up, sounding good. Not much to say tonight. It's been a busy day and accomplished not much of anything, but that's the way it goes. I won't be at Lawrenceville this year. Traveling that far from Pensacola is getting a little hard to do these days, so we'll see what happens. Other than that, we'll continue on playing with radios and talk to Roy, and I'll be going to Roy's house in the morning, see if we can get him straightened away. And then we'll be able to take a few pictures of Blue Angels practicing. We'll see what happens. W4AMI, K4VZS, Pensacola.
Okay, John. Thank you. Take care. Have a safe trip tomorrow. Speaking of Roy, guess who's next on the list? W4IDD, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Stan. Good evening, everybody. This is W4IDD, Roy in Pensacola. And as Miss Minnie Powell used to say on the Grand Ole Opry, howdy. I'm just so proud to be here. I say that loud simply because I am proud to be here. It's good to be alive this evening, Stan, and enjoying ham radio. So many folks that we know have already passed on, but don't get to enjoy this unless there is a certain band on in the heavenly mist that I don't know about. So anyway, so much for that. Stan, as I said earlier, I'm running a AF67 transmitter this evening. Mighty LMAC in our color, and PMR 8 receiver, and a V104 microphone, and R200 amplifier running about 200 watt carry or something like that. Anyway, it's good to be here. I'll cut it short. Stand by saying this. I hope everybody out there in Radio Land feels as good as I look. And that includes Kevin up there in Gold City. The only Gold City I know of, Kevin, is I'm hoping to make it to live the rest of eternity in. But then I'm gone. 72, everybody. W4 in Pensacola.
Okay, Roy. Wow, good solid signal with the LMAC. Doing a great job tonight. Thank you for calling in, Roy. Always appreciate having you here. Next up is Don, K5HFG. How are you tonight, sir? Go ahead.
W4AMI, K5HFG. Good evening, Stan. Sounding good tonight. You got a good signal over here in Mississippi. It's cold. That's all I can say. Everything's going real slow. I got up this morning and I had to turn the heater on. That's unheard of this time of year. Anyway, thanks for picking me up. And the band's starting to cooperate fully with us. Everybody's sounding real good. W4AMI. This is K5HFG.
Yeah, okay, Don. Boy, you're peaking 15 over 9, which is a right good signal from way out there. I appreciate it. Okay, next up is Dave, AD4Q in Millington, Tennessee. How are you tonight, Don?
Real good, Stan. Thank you. This is Dave, AD4Q. We're on the Viking 2 CDC, as usual. One of these days I'll be running a little bit more power here. Right now, about 90 watts, and receiving an R390A and a E104 into a inverted V at about 55 feet. Well, anyway, that's what we got. And it is cool here too. It's not quite as bad as some of you guys, but supposed to get down in the 30s tonight. I don't think it'll freeze, but it'll get down there. And we're not going to be able to make the Hamptons. We're going up to Gatlinburg this weekend. So we'll be up in the mountains. It might be cold up there too. I think they had some snow up there already this year, but we're hoping we see the leaves change. But every year I try to go, I always miss it by a week, either early or late. So it never fails. One of these days, though. Anyway, enjoying the net. Stand back to you. W4AM AM Net. AD4Q.
Okay, Dave, thank you. Oh, Gatlinburg will be fun. It's a great time of year. We came through the park a few weeks ago, and it was colors weren't quite out yet, but it's a fun place to be. Let's see. Next station up is Tom, the W9 TAB down Pensacola way. How are you tonight, sir? Go ahead. Okay, Tom. Thanks. Good to hear you tonight. Let's see. Next up, we'll take one more, and then we'll do another standby. N4 GUV. Bill, how are you tonight? Go ahead.
W4 AMI N4 GUV. Stan, I'm having a real good night. Wife and I got out in the yard today in this pretty weather. We were gathering up leaves and escorting them to a place to be burned. It was a good day. It was nice day to be out. I'm running a TR4CW tonight and Drake L4B. I think I've mentioned, I don't know, my antenna's a little out of the unusual, Stan. It's 1,260 foot long loop. It's good to be in here. I'm copying everyone this evening and looking forward to spending time listening to some more. Stan, I'll send it back to you. Thank you, sir, for what you're doing. N4 GUV.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Bill. This is W4AMI. We'll take a standby in a second. I haven't mentioned what I was running tonight, so I'll take a second and toss that in. It's the rig I've been using here for a while. It's the Anon 7000 SDR transceiver driving an ACOM 2000 amplifier that has a pair of GU74Bs in it. Peaking just about 1480 watts, averaging in the 600-700 watt range. Antenna's a dipole 100 feet up. Okay, well, the Southeast AM Radio Club's Swap and Fellowship Net's going to take a standby for any latecomers. Come at this time.
WB4NKL.
Okay, got WB4NKL. Anybody else?
Kilo 3, Foxtrot, Zulu, Delta.
Okay, Larry, good evening to you. K3FZD. Anyone else?
KN4R.
Yeah, hello, Brian. Good to hear you. Welcome. Anybody else?
Whiskey 4 Papa, Juliet Papa.
Okay, W4PJP, good evening to you. Anyone else? Okay, thanks. Cliff, when you came on, I thought I was going to lose my hearing there for a second. Wow. You got it cooking down here tonight. Welcome. Okay, next station up on the list is WA4KM. Kevin, your transmission.
Georgia, West Georgia. Hope everybody's doing good this evening. Stan, you got a good signal coming in to the shack here, and everybody else sounded good. I'm even hearing Tick Rich Don out there real good this evening. So fall time obviously is the best time of the year, and we just love it as far as radioing and then, you know, little campfires and the leaves changing and all the nice things that come with the fall for sure. Hoping to see everybody at Lawrenceville. I'll be walking around there somewhere if you see me, and I know a bunch of you, but if you don't, just come up and say hi. I should have a black hat on my costume. I don't bite, not too hard anyway. Stop by and say hey. I'm not hard to miss at 6'6", 400 plus pounds, so anyway, I'm actually down 33 pounds. But anyway, just a big old guy. I love to meet everybody. Anyway, we got some grandkids coming over, and I'm hearing my cameras and ring going off now as we're speaking, so I won't keep it long. Alan, you've done a great pre-net as always, and Stan, you got a good net going on as well. Anyway, we'll see everybody hopefully Thursday on the Gulf Coast if the Lord willing and the creeks don't rise, they say. And yeah, all the nets are on the same time, so it's just easier to keep up with. I agree with Sam on that, and it's just too confusing when we start getting some that's out of sync. It's just, as my wife said, you know, you guys get older, y'all don't like change much, so keep it, as Sam says, kids, keep it simple, stupid, so we'll just keep it simple. Anyway, and hello to the guys down there on the Gulf Coast. Y'all are all sounding good too this evening. So back to you, Stan. Thanks again. Doing a fantastic job as always. This is WA4KM over here in the city of Go. Thanks, Stan. Hope to see you at Lawrenceville.
Okay, Kevin. Good evening to you. Good to have you. Next up is KA3IWS. Bob, good evening.
Okay, W4AMI. And group KA3IWS. We're real fine, and well, you're really loud in here, Stan, and some of the others are too. But some are up and down, a little swish swish. I'm running a T150, and I'm listening on my R100A receiver, which is a matching night, transmitting on a full wave loop antenna, and using a D104 microphone. Got no push to talk at all. Every one of my microphones got a little connector on the end of it, just like my DX60, with a single wire cord, non-curly, going down to the mic. So that's my audio equipment. So what you hear is me. So back, and that's all you get. W4AMI from KA3IWS.
Okay. Bob, where are you located?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're in Lexington, South Carolina. We're in Lexington, South Carolina, and I've been up your neck of the woods, Stan, up camping. It's nice.
I thought you were here in South Carolina. I was couldn't pull up Lexington in my head. But anyway, welcome and good to hear you tonight. Thanks for the signal report. Next up is Brendan, WAGUZ. Go ahead.
Okay, Stan, good evening. Good evening, everybody on the net. Alan, thanks for the pre-net. What little bit I get or was able to hear, I was busy with the feeding and fired up the stove for the first time this season. Not too pleasant of a smell right now. Fresh coat of high temp paint on it a couple days ago. It's kind of nauseous down here, but hey, it'll get better. Wife's in town helping with the trick-or-treating. in town at the fire department, and I decided to decline and come home. So anyway, it's supposed to get cold tonight. 22 for the low here at the house. First freeze of the season. I think we're ready. I've checked all the antifreeze and the air-cooled Volkswagens, and everything looks good. So we're ready for the cold. Unfortunately, I hate to see it coming, but once it's here, I kind of enjoy it. Get to spend more time here in the shack. W4GUZ, Brandon, and everyone have a good time at the Ham Fest in Lawrenceville. One year I'll make that one on the 41000 rig, modulated by a pair of 833s, and listening on a AR-88 tonight. So thank you, Stan. You're 40 over here across the hill. Hello, Cliff. Everyone keep add to your prayer list WD40UM. Terry, I'm sure that most on here have heard his Maloney's voice on in the morning time, but he's in the hospital with a little bit of a battle. But last I heard, he thought, fingers crossed, he might get to come home tomorrow. But hopefully that'll happen. W4 AM. Good evening, W4GUZ.
Okay, Brandon, thank you. Good signal tonight. Of course, you usually do from down here, but well done. Okay, next up is Bill, W4MA, up in LAJ. Go ahead.
W4AMI, this is W4MA. Good evening, Stan. Thanks for net control tonight. Good evening, Alan. Thanks for the pre-net. I just caught the end of it. You do a great job as usual. Good evening to the officers, and hello to everyone that's checking in. Great signals. Band condition seems to be pretty darn good tonight. The name here is Bill, Bravo India Lima Lima. I'm in North Georgia, between LJ and Dahlonega. Weather here has been beautiful. We need the rain. It's cooling off. A little freeze tonight. Fall colors have been awesome. A lot of leaves on the ground, a lot more to fall. It's been keeping us busy, but it's keeping me off the golf course and out of trouble. Looking forward to the Ham Fest. Looking forward to the cookout on Friday evening, Friday afternoon. Looking forward to seeing the fellows I run across. Good evening to all, 7-3. Great to hear everyone. W4AMI, W4MA, 7-3.
Okay, Bill, good evening to you. Glad to hope our paths cross come Saturday. Joe, WK9UR, it's your transmission, please, W4AMI.
Okay, good evening, W4AMI, K9 United Radio, Bloomington, Indiana. Good evening. Name is Joe, located up here in Bloomington. Let's see here, hold on. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're doing what we should. Anyway, good evening, everyone. K9UR Joe here, Bloomington, Indiana. We have cold weather up here. I'm running a Collins 32 V2 transmitter, listening on a Collins 75A4 receiver with a 270 speaker, and the antenna system here is a inverted V-dipole at about 60 feet on the apex, and it's coaxial fed. And I do have a tuner here, but right now the tuner is not in line on this frequency. Anyway, I was just looking around the ham shack. I've got a couple transformers that weigh a bunch. If somebody's interested in paying shipping for them, I would offer them up. One's a high voltage transformer. I believe that's made by Hammerland from Chicago Transformer Company, 870 volts. I don't know how many amps. Probably, well, I don't see it on here, but at any rate, 870 volts. Oh, there it is, 250 milliamps And then I've got a filament transformer. If somebody's interested in that, I think it'll do 6.3 volts at about 5 amps and 5 volts at about 15 amps. Both of these are 110 volt input. So if you have somebody who needs something like this to fix some equipment, there you go. But I'm happy with the shipping if somebody's interested. Just cost you shipping, no problem. Anyway, that's the rundown here at D104 microphone. Just enjoy listening to you guys. Usually it's the Chicago guys are interfering with the Southeast guys, so I can't hear either of you because you're both on 3885 most of the time. So it's a little bit of a rough copy sometimes, but tonight the Southeast is coming in beautifully. Great signals all around. All right, let's see if you guys are copying me up here. The band is starting to change. We're well after sunset now. So back to net control. This is K9UR.
Okay, K9UR from W4AMI. You were a good solid. I was sitting here watching the S-meter, Joe, and you were a solid 10 over. So no QSB at all. You were just solid 10 over. Occasionally pop up to 15, but 10 on average. So it's you were getting it done. Next station up is Virgil, W4OLJ. Go ahead.
Okay, Stan. W4AMI, and the net, this is W4OLJ in Sweetwater. Well, good evening to everyone. A lot of good signals on there. Good to hear Cliff up there in Limestone. And when Brandon came on there a while ago, I thought my receiver had gone dead. You know, it was so quiet until he started talking. But I mean, he just quietened her down there with no noise whatsoever coming out of the speaker. Really a fine signal. And there's a lot of them on there tonight. We're running the 41000 rig, modulated with a pair of 4400s and 75A4 receiver. Kind of cool. Supposed to get down somewhere in the 20s tonight, 27, somewhere along there. But I guess it's time. And I've got the fire lit and just ready for it. So you're doing a great job, Stan, and what I heard of the pre-net is just the very tail end of it, while Alan was doing his usual good job. So back to you, and thanks a lot, Stan. W4AMI, this is W4OLJ in Sweetwater.
Okay, Virgil. Well, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come by and join us tonight. Good to hear you. And I can tell the propagation gods have things calmed down again. Summer is over because W4OLJ is once again 40 over plus down here. Take care, my friend. Talk to you soon. WB4KKJ. Greg, how are you tonight? W4AMI.
Good evening, Stan. W4AMI. WB4KKJ, Pace, Florida. Thanks for running the net tonight. Got a good signal in the Pace tonight, and doing a good job. And Alan, you did a good job on the pre-net. And thanks, Mac, for looking out for me on that receiver there this weekend up at the Hamfest. I appreciate it. And other than that, Stan, got to spend some time with old John Milner, K4VZF. Saturday we had some black coffee, as Roy said, and had some hot Krispy Kreme donuts sitting out on the front porch here, overlooking this vast estate there, high. So, but anyway, we'll turn it back to you, Stan, just running the ICOM Pro 3 tonight. Legal out for B. So, back to you, sir, WB4KKJ.
Okay, very well, Greg. Good to thanks for joining us this evening. Always a pleasure to have you. WB4KKJ, take care. We'll see you. And with that, up Tennessee way, WB4NKL. Cliff, how you doing tonight?
W4AMI, WB4NKL. Good evening, everybody on the net. Located in Limestone, Tennessee, East Tennessee. And running the Heathkit DX100 here tonight. I was over here on the bench playing with an Ocean Hopper Sounding good. I thought the conditions are risky at all. Transmitter and the Collins 75S3 receiver and check in a minute. So, everybody sounds great. Solid copy all the way around so far. And let's see. I'm planning on going to Lawrenceville, heading down Friday, and looking forward to that. Maybe can meet some of the guys down there. So thanks for calling the last 10, and I'd say 73 and enjoyed it. W4 AMI, WB4 NKF.
Okay, Cliff. Wow. You're doing well hereabouts. Let's see. Next up is a standby for late arrivers. Anybody who would like to join the Southeast AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net? Give me a call right now.
WA4III.
Okay, WA4III. Greg, good evening to you. Anyone else tonight? Okay, Greg, you're number 27, by the way. Next up is Larry, K3FZD. Go ahead.
W4AMI, this is K3FZD. Very good evening to everybody. Been listening to the copying the signals. It's nice to have a low level of background static. Sounds good. I hope my signal's getting out. This is the AM mode of an ICOM 735, an older solid state transceiver I inherited from somebody. So that's about it from here. It's getting colder, of course. We'll put the blankets on and have more dogs on the bed. WA4AMI, A3, FZD, over.
Okay, Larry, thank you. By the way, I forgot to mention earlier, our temperature here tonight is still up around 55, so I would imagine it's going to go down into the high 50s, and it's warm. That's warmer than we've been hearing tonight, but we will see. Good night to you, Larry, and thank you. Brian, KN4R, how are you tonight? Go ahead.
Okay, Stan, very good. W4AMI and the illustrious group. This is Brian, KN4R, Carolina, about 20 miles. And I haven't checked in a while, but really enjoying the signal tonight. Brandon, you're number one here, and I wouldn't think you would need a wood stove with that 41000 and 833 rig keeping the shack warm. And Cliff, you're number two, and Stan, you're number three here. But
Hello.
200 watts into an in-fed half wave, and listening on a very venerable black HRO that was manufactured right before Pearl Harbor. So, but it sure does sound good on AM. So I just wanted to get in here and say hello to everyone. And sounds like Lawrence is going to be a great happening. Hope everybody has a great time. So back to you, Stan, and 73s. W4AMI, KN4R.
Okay, Brian, KN4R, W4AMI. Brian, I got your emails regarding the receiver. Appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to getting that thing on the air. I've got a couple of projects ahead of it, but I want to hear what that with something that old sounds like. So one of these days it'll get there. You're doing pretty well here tonight too, and again, thank you. Thanks for coming. Next station up is W4PJP. Larry, go ahead.
All right, thank you, Stan. Good evening, everyone. It's been a while since I've been on AM Net, but it's good hearing everybody. It sounds like the band's in really good shape, a lot of good signals. Really enjoying the sound of AM. I apologize for not being around. I've just been busy doing a lot of other things. But that's about all I've done here. I'm running
I'm not running the helicopters tonight. I'm running, what am I running? The FM 765 on AM. So hopefully it's doing okay. I'll turn it back to you there, Stan. You're doing a great job. Thank you very much. It's W4AMI and we go. W4PJP.
Okay. Okay, Larry. Well, thank you. And hold on just a second, guys. Yeah, that's the actual frequency, and you can tell if somebody's off a little bit one way or the other. They're off a little bit, they squeal. Okay, next on the list is Greg, W84III. How are you doing tonight?
W4AMI, this is WA4III. Well, a little bit late coming in today. I went down to Dr. John's and had a nice visit with him. Picked up a part to fix my amplifier up in the station at the house. So I got that thing fixed and going, and if he's listening, thank you, John. And if he's not, thank you anyway. But I reckon I'm getting old and senile because I kept having trouble hearing everybody coming in. I thought, well, is there something wrong with my receiver or what? I got to checking, and I had put my coax to my antenna on the wrong connector on my tuner. So I tell you what, I'm slipping. The old man's getting old, but I'm still on the green side of God. I'm thankful for that. So since I got everything straightened out, everybody's sounding fine. Thank you for picking me up. You're doing a good job. W4AMI, this is WA4II.
Okay, Greg. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Yeah. The green. Yeah. You want to keep looking at the green side. Don't look at the roots. Okay. I'm at the end of the list, and we'll take a standby, see if we have any very late comers, and if not, we'll be calling it a night here. This is W4AMI listening. Okay, didn't hear anybody. So we're at the end of the festivities for the evening. I want to thank our friends up in New England who were kind enough to stand by this evening so we could use the frequency. Appreciate your cooperation, guys, and God bless you. Take care. This is the Southeastern AM Radio Club signing off, W4AMI, and we'll see those of you that are able to come to Lawrenceville Saturday. We'll see you Saturday morning. If not, catch you next week. W4AMI. Good night.